Hello YouTube, and that's the pit limiter. My name is Sir Foch, and today we're taking the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo around Brands Hatch. I didn't get to do the honors with the Porsche here, as that was on George, but here we are in the Ferrari, and Brands Hatch is one big roller coaster. Very narrow, unforgiving, high commitment, especially in the last sector. Very technical as well. So kind of it has it all apart from one thing, which is good racing. It is really difficult to have good racing here. The straights are really short, and the braking after those straights are not really that high, so generally it's pretty difficult to make moves here, but whenever you do make them, they feel so much better. Also, you kind of need to have quite a pace advantage to be able to stay behind other cars, as the aero wash is definitely a thing in Assetto Corsa Competizione, so following cars can be very difficult, not only because of the aero wash, but because they do obstruct a lot of your markers, because a lot of the markers here are on the surface of the road. Talking about the surface of the road, I'm gonna take it easy here. For turn 1, we're looking for the brake marker, the 2-stripe marker, and then there's a light patch on the left side of the road. We brake just like 5 meters after the light patch starts. Here as well, start of the light patch on the left just before the 1 sign. We turn in for the apex quite early and go low TC on the exit. Here we brake just when the grayish brown part of the curve starts on the right, and for this kind of hairpin we brake just after the 1 board goes out of our proximity, downshift to second, and try to go on power early, as this is the most important exit on the whole track, really the longest straight. It's gonna be really difficult to make any overtakes here, but still, here we brake closer to the 1 than the 2, but that's a little bit too late. Can keep the car in 4th on a solid run in quali. 3rd is going to be safer in the race, and for that one we brake just after the rubber marks start, like 5 meters into them. Here there's a orange mark on the right side of the fence. We brake just after that, and here we brake a car length or so before the 1 board, and a little bit before the rubber tracks as well if the boards get destroyed, which they do. And same here, braking a little bit before the 1 board on the left, and then stay to the inside to the exit just to put in the lap. A slightly shorter run will mean a slightly better lap. Alright, so here's the setup. Page 1 is pretty classic. Rear negative toe for I've set to -35 or -0.35. That's just where I prefer it. You can play around with it, maybe go 0.3, maybe go 0.4, see what works better for you. TC for safety I like 9, 7 might be a little bit faster for quali, but the tire wear here is pretty brutal, so keeping the TC high can help with that. So here we have pretty stiff front springs, very stiff rear bump stop rate to help us with the bumps. We're using some bump stop range here as well, relatively soft rear springs to help with the traction, max preload for the mid-corner stability, and a relatively neutral front roll bar. The dampers here are a bit all over the place. These work relatively well to absorb the bumps, and that's quite important. You very often end up in the grass with the 2 wheels or so, and you really don't want those bottoming out events to happen, which is another reason why we're lifted the car quite a bit off the ground. This is pretty low still, but it seems to absorb the bumps well enough, so I don't really have any reason to go any higher. So yeah, that is the setup. I'm gonna leave you guys with a hot lap and see you on the next one.